Hey guys, this is the second part of Chapter 6, Section 3, and what I want to do now is I want to create separate partial files for this header as well as the sidebar. And it's pretty easy to do. All we need to do is, let's open up our My Ruby blog folder, and if we go to the app folder and views, I actually want to create a folder here, and I want to call it partials. And in this, I want to create two files. One is going to be header, and since it's a partial, we're going to start it with an underscore. And this is going to be header.html.erb. And then we're going to create another called sidebar.html.erb. And I want to go into the main layout, which is application, and we want to grab everything in the header area, including the actual head tags. So we'll start at the doc type, and we're going to go all the way down to the end of the header, and I'm going to cut that out and place it in my partials folder into the header. Okay, so save that. Now if we go to this application and we save and then we reload, you'll see that everything's gone. Everything in the header, so that means all the style sheets are gone. But now what we're going to do is just include that header, that partial, and we do that using Ruby. So we'll do render, and then we need the path, which is partials slash header. We don't need the underscore. We should just be able to do this. We don't even have to write the extensions or anything. We just write header, and then we can close that up. And if we save that and reload, we're back. Alright, so we can do the same thing with the sidebar. If we go down to right here at the sidebar div, and we get everything up until the end sidebar, cut that out, and we'll place that in this file, this sidebar, save, close that up, and then we just need to include the partial. Render sidebar. Okay, so that should do it. Save that and reload. Missing template, home index. What happened? Oh, I'm sorry, we need partials. It's in the partials directory. Okay, so now that's all set. So this is in a separate file, and this is in a separate file, and this is the main content. Now what I want to do is make this categories menu dynamic. I want the categories from the database to show up here. So let's actually go to the sidebar file, and let's see. So here's where it starts. If we see this H2 categories is this category's heading right here. So we want this to be all dynamic. So we'll just get rid of the keep the unordered list, and then we'll create a loop to spit out the list tags. So let's do, and if you remember, if we go to app controllers, post controller, and we have this category equals category all. I want this to be global, because this here is only given this, it's only given it to the post controller, the post resource. I want it to be accessible from anywhere. So how we do that is we actually go into the core application controller, and we just add in a helper method. So we just gotta say helper method, and we're gonna have all categories. Okay, so now we just want to define a method called all categories. So all categories, and then we need to end it, and we're just going to do categories equals category all. So this method is accessible everywhere because we have it in this root application controller. So let's save that. So since it's accessible everywhere, that means we can use it in this sidebar in our loop. So here all we need to do is do all categories, and we want to do dot each do, and we'll just use cat for our variable or placeholder. Close that, and let's end. And inside the loop we want to iterate list tags, and in those list tags we want the category name. So we can use this cat right here for the category name. If we just do cat dot name, let's save that, see what happens. You can see it's all our categories. Now we want these to be links. Alright, so we need to go back and do the link to, and we want to make sure that these categories go to the correct ID, the correct category. So what we need to do is the link is going to stay the category name, and then for our second parameter we have to do category path. So that's the category path, and we want to pass in the ID of the category name right here. So we just need to do ID. So this is a hash, so just ID, and then cat.id. And this cat.id is coming from here. We're using this variable right here. So this should work. Let's save it and reload. And if we click on news, it goes to the news page, tutorials, design. So let's just add let's add that post ID for the CSS so that we have a white background. So we just need to, we want to go to the category show view. So if we go to our app folder and then views, categories, and it's the show view. So let's just add a div to this. So we know that the post div gives us a white background, so that's what we want. Let's save that and reload. Was it a class? Alright, so there we go, it was a class, not an ID. So we have our nicely formatted category pages. And if we click on a post title, it brings us to the posts. Let's also add that post class on. This would be the posts view, the posts and show. So let's just add that div to that as well. Save that. Whoops, reload. Alright, so we can go back Why is that? Oh, so this is the main post. This is the index view. So let's add that again. That div. Okay. So now we can navigate easily. We can click on the category, and this is the categories view, categories index. Let's add that div here as well. Alright. This actually isn't right. I want the white block over each separate post. Like if we go to the home page, I want it like this. So let's see the main. Yeah, the main blog page is the same. So let's go to. We just got to make the div go around each post as opposed to the entire thing. So if we go to our post index view, I think it is. Views, posts, index. All right. What we want is we want it like the home index, the home view. If we go to views and then home, we want this. So it's pretty much, yeah. So let's just grab this entire thing actually and see if that works. So what I'm doing is grabbing the home index view and I'm copying it into the post index view. Alright. So if I save that. Alright, so now our blog page is formatted like our home page. But if we click on the category, we have to do that as well. And this is the category show. Category show view. And let me close some of these because I know it's probably getting confusing for you guys with all these files. So we want the categories, views, category, show. And so let's just try to paste what we had in our post view. Well, we can't do that. Hold on a second here. Well, we might be able to. Alright, yeah, so now if we go to tutorials, see how we have it now is that if there's no posts, it's just blank. So let's alright. So this is the view we want. This is from the home page. I just want to implement this if statement. So this is the start of the array. We just want to copy how this is with the if. So we'll just add an if, and then let's grab this empty and empty in the end. So let's just replace this end tag with that. And now we should be able to get rid of this entire thing. And save it and reload. So now it says there's no post in this category. Let's make that white. Let's just add an inline style, and we'll say color white. Alright, so that looks good. Yeah, so we're getting there. So let's do this. Let's do the blog roll. I want to have this dynamic with post titles. So, and that's in the sidebar. So if we go to our app, views, partials, sidebar, and we want to replace this here. This is just static. Now to do this, if you remember, to do the categories in the sidebar, we had to add a global helper function, helper method. So if we go to our views, not views, I'm sorry, the app controller, and then the application controller, Remember how we had our all categories? I'm just going to create an all posts. Alright, so and then we can just copy this. And this can be all posts. And post. Alright, so let's save that and then go back to the sidebar, and we can pretty much copy this. This is for the categories, and replace the static list tags, and change this to all posts. Change this. Link to post.name. I think it's post.title. Let's do title. And then the post path with the ID, and this is going to be post.id. So if we save that and then go back and reload, we have our updated titles. They should be linkable, clickable. Yep. Alright, so we're getting there. So all we have left to do is the search functionality for the front end. The author we want to have, because this is just a dummy link, we want the author of the post to show up here, and we also want to add comments. So after those three things, we'll pretty much be finished. We'll do some testing. I'll introduce test-driven development, and that's really it. Then we can deploy our app to Heroku, and we'll have a full-fledged blog platform built on Ruby on Rails. So I will see you in the next video.